So I have a few updates for you guys, and we'll continue with a rewrite of Game of Thrones. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
It's a me,
Dario!
Woohoo! Let's go!
Alright, so I had a pretty good and pretty bad weekend. I went to a wedding down in Mexico. The wedding was awesome. It was great. I had a lot of fun. It was great seeing a whole bunch of old friends I hadn't seen in a while. Also, weddings are awesome. You get to dress up. You eat for free. You drink like crazy. It was awesome. Great time. I'll load some pictures on later today. You can see them on my Instagram, at Dario the Show on Instagram. Also, if you want to listen to the show, you can find it in the iHeartRadio app. Just type in the show presents Super Dario World, or you can find it on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube as Super Dario World Podcast. Now, I have a few updates for you guys. But before I get into it, let me tell you why my weekend was bad. Because stupid computers ruin freaking everything. I was ripping my hair out this weekend, pretty much. On Friday, after I finished doing the regular podcast, I edited out the one that I do in Spanish. By the way, you can listen to it now. It has its own channel, Super Dario World en Español. You can find it there, or I'm still loading it through the other one. So I load it every Saturday, and I do a video for it as well. And I edited it out, and I was gonna export it, and it took 5 hours to export, which is okay. I mean, I get it. It happens. Sometimes things take longer. But when I opened it up, stupid thing didn't play. Like it played, but it just looked all blacked out. It looked weird. Like the video was bad. So I went back into it, opened it up, changed a few settings, loaded it again. 7 hours to export. Did not work. Now, as you might have guessed, by this point, I was getting a little bit stressed. So I did it one last time. Then I went to the wedding and everything, came back the next day, tried playing it, nothing. So I decided, you know what? Screw this computer. I'll just edit it out on Monday at the computer here in the studio. For some reason, the problem is that the video was corrupted. So it wasn't really the computer, it was the video was corrupted, and I was just pissed. I was just pissed because nothing that I did was working out anywhere. It was really stressful. And I'd been considering, you know what? I want to do the Spanish podcast a little bit more. I wanna do maybe like a daily thing, just like this one, so that consistency. The key to everything is consistency. Even if it's consistently bad or consistently good, just keep going at it, right? And I felt like once a week was not good enough, especially because the numbers have been there. People seem to enjoy it, especially the Spanish one. So I decided, all right, what can I do? Maybe I could live stream. And so I decided, because if I do one, even if it's a short one, and I load it every day, it's gonna take editing out's still gonna be a while. And if this keeps happening to me, I'll just blow somebody's brains out. Not mine, not myself, but somebody else. By the way, I'm kidding. I'll just throw the computer out the window or something on my phone. It's most likely that I'll smash my phone, because that's been the bane of my existence. Because the one consistent thing here is the stupid phone ain't working. So I'll probably just smash the phone somewhere, which would be really expensive. So I probably shouldn't do that. Anyway, where was I? Yeah. So yeah, I definitely need to invest a little bit more on that. But I decided, you know what? I'll just do maybe like a live stream thing. That way I don't have to edit. Because the thing that kills me is the editing. So I don't mind editing this one out and exporting it, because so far I think I figured it out already, and it's been fine. Consistently, it's been fine overall. But the other one is just a mess, and I don't have time to wait for this one to export for an hour and then edit out the other one and have that one export for an hour and a half or something. It's just not going to work. So I decided, how about live streaming? And maybe I'll just keep doing it in Spanish. Maybe so every day I do my regular English podcast, and also, while that thing's exporting, I'll play an hour of video games. And in the meantime, I'll just talk about whatever I want to do, just like this one. I'm just talking about random stuff. The only difference is that I'll be playing a video game and I'll be doing it in Spanish. So far, I'm doing my due diligence this week. I may start already. If things go well today, if I manage to keep this one short, I'll probably start today. But I'm not 100% sure yet. There's still some details I need to go through. I have the equipment for it. It's not going to look as good because the camera for the stupid, what was it? Well, for the Kinect is not that great, but it's something. And it's going to be weird trying to keep my thoughts in line, because when I play video games, I'm in it. I'm focused 100%. But for 20 minutes, just talking a little bit, I think it's fine. I think it should work out. Hopefully. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. And yeah, so keep an eye out for that. I'll keep you posted when I decide to start doing it. I may do it today. So today I might just do like a test run, and then I don't know. I'll see, because I'll also have to go to work later today. I don't know. It all depends. The point is, it's a lot of things going on, and a lot of things will be happening. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Anyway, like I said, I want to keep it short, so let's just continue with the Game of Thrones rewrite. All right, so as I mentioned on the previous episode, I'm wrapping up the season, man. Season's wrapping up, so I believe, unless I'm mistaken, the only two storylines that I have left to wrap up this season is the one with the Greyjoys and the one about the ranging in the north. So that one might actually take 2 episodes. This one should be relatively quick. And after that, I will probably go into just giving a quick recap of every single thing that I did throughout the season. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll take a break before I continue with season 2 or something. Well, or with the rewriting of the actual final season. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't like taking breaks like that. I think 1 week for recap should be enough, especially now that I can edit it out and do the images. And that one will take me a little bit longer, because I will put out images of who I'm talking about and stuff like that. So it's not that confusing. I know that for this one it's been kind of rough, because it's a lot of names, a lot of things, a lot of places. Hopefully I can mainstream it a little, or mainline it. I don't even know how you say it. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So today, let me just give you a quick recap of what happened with the Greyjoys. What has been their storyline this season so far. So, Euron Greyjoy, instead of going after Cersei, which made no freaking sense, because A, she's older, and, well, Euron Greyjoy made a choice. He could go with either Daenerys' side or with Cersei. Going with Cersei never made any freaking sense to me, because A, Cersei is older and she's in a weaker position. So why the hell would Euron Greyjoy go after her? Made no sense. So Euron goes after Daenerys. They make a deal where Euron, the Greyjoy forces will ferry Daenerys' forces across the Narrow Sea, and in exchange, she will become his fiance, basically, right? They won't get married, but she will become fiance. Also, and I've mentioned this before, Euron Greyjoy is kind of exactly Daenerys' type. Daenerys has a type. Killers, psychos. Also, alpha leaders. So, again, Euron Greyjoy, exactly Daenerys' type. So, to me, that always would have worked out. Now, while they were preparing their attack on King's Landing, while Daenerys' forces were in Dorne, trying to figure out what route they should take, what they should do next, Euron Greyjoy got a message from Asha Greyjoy. Well, I think in the show she's called Yara now. Yeah. Well, the point is Yara Greyjoy, Theon Greyjoy's sister. So here's what happened on their end. And what the message read was, Theon Greyjoy, my brother, has returned to... first off, she retook Pike, which is the castle of the Greyjoys. She retook it, and she sent Euron a letter saying... Because she's been in cahoots with... Okay, I've been all over the place right now. So, Yara, or Asha Greyjoy, however you want to say it, she has been in cahoots with Littlefinger. Littlefinger took Theon Greyjoy from Winterfell and sent out a whole bunch of letters basically saying that, yeah, Theon Greyjoy is with me. And, to houses to the Ironborn, the bigger houses there. And Asha Greyjoy reached out to Littlefinger, and they've been in cahoots. So basically the plan was, since Theon was not part of the original Kingsmoot, since he is technically Balon's heir, he does have a legal right to be a part of the Kingsmoot. So the previous Kingsmoot will be invalidated, and Theon Greyjoy will call another Kingsmoot, and then he'll have an opportunity to present his case and to maybe become the king of the Iron Islands, right? That is his legal right. And so he was released because he still has, bodyguards following him, Littlefinger's men. And so they release Theon Greyjoy. He goes to the Iron Islands. At the same time, Yara takes back Pike. They send out the letter saying there's going to be another Kingsmoot. And so this completely messes Euron Greyjoy up and Daenerys along with him, because Euron has to go back. Kingsmoot is every single ship captain has an opportunity of becoming a king, pretty much. And so everybody gets a vote. Everybody has, let's say, equal say. But and also the Ironborn are the most loyal to their own people, and they respect their traditions a lot. So this is like a holy thing. So Euron knows that a lot of his men will go. They have to. Also, if he's not there, that means that he'll miss the opportunity, and so he might get voted out because he's not there. Well, not might. He will get voted out. So that might cause a whole bunch of infight. It might cause a whole bunch of drama. But the point is, by that move, Littlefinger effectively took away Daenerys' navy, pretty much, and it completely messed up all her plans. So Euron Greyjoy gets his fleet, and they go back to Pike. Well, they're going back to the Iron Islands to be a part of the second Kingsmoot. Okay? With me so far? Good. That's where things are so far. So, well, in the books, it takes place in a different island, but here I'll just say like it was in Pike. All right? Pike just seems easier. So, on the way to Pike, you got the entire Iron Fleet heading back there. They're on their way to Pike specifically for the Kingsmoot, and they find themselves that they're not exactly being blockaded, but they're being, let's say, received by Asha Greyjoy's fleet. So it's kind of like just standing there, and a whole bunch of captains kind of just flexing the muscles, like, yeah, we're not alone here. We still have it doesn't matter how big of a fleet you bring, we can still, defend ourselves, right? Like that, like a show of force in a way. And in the meantime, Theon was inside of Pike because they are not fools. Well, they are kind of foolish, but they figured that it'd be best to keep him and Euron apart for as long as possible. As the silence, Euron Greyjoy's ship gets closer. Asha notices that he is slowing down, and he gets closer, not slowing down, and closer, and the fleet is not slowing down one bit. So, there comes a point where everybody's like, "Oh crap, they're attacking!" Like, this is battle formations, but it's too late. They're coming in too hot. The silence is just way too fast. Plus, it has rows and stuff, and so it just slams right into them. Bulk first, like just rams as hard as can, and the entire fleet just goes and smashes against the other ships that were there blockading, and a huge fight starts, right? Where the advantage obviously comes to Euron Greyjoy because they had better numbers, bigger numbers, and they were actually prepared for an attack. They didn't really expect Euron to do this, which is weird because it's super in character. Anyway, so as the fight starts going on, Theon sees this from Pike. He tries to get reinforcements out there and help from the castle, but it's a lost cause. There's no way that they're gonna, at least Yara's ship, there's no way that they're gonna make it. So Theon has to make a decision. Damn it, what do I do? What do I do here? What do I do in this moment? And one of his bodyguards just grabs him and says, like, we're getting the hell out of here. Let them waste their time trying to conquer this castle. Pretend like you're still here. They're gonna leave somebody behind, one of the guards that kind of just looks like Theon, and to say that he's still there. But they're sneaking him the hell out of there. Those are two people's orders: Littlefinger and Asha. They were in agreement that Theon cannot stay there if something like this happened. So they're getting Theon the hell out of there, right? On the ships, in the middle of the battle, obviously Yara's losing, and she gets captured. And she's furious. And Euron walks up to her and, all cocky and like, ha, beat ya, sucker. And it's like, how dare you? This was a religious thing. There's like laws. Our people have laws, blah, blah. How dare you? Everybody's going to turn against you. And Euron basically looks at her and says, we are the Ironborn. I paid the iron price for this crown. And after I skin you, well, he's not going to skin her. After I do it with you, I'm going to go up there, find your little brother, and fuck him to death. Which, I mean, seriously, read the books. Euron has done way worse than that. Anyway, so he says he sets that up. Everyone's like, yeah, cheering, like, yeah, the Iron Price. By the way, for those of you who don't know, the Iron Price basically means you have to kill for what you have. And it's something that Balon actually made a lot of fun of Theon for. It's like, oh, that's a nice necklace. Did you pay the Iron Price for it, or how did you pay for it? The Iron Price meaning is that if you kill somebody, you get to keep their stuff, pretty much. So he's killing his enemies, and he's going to keep that crown. That's his logic. And his men are pretty much behind him, because at that point, before he got screwed over, Euron had a dragon. Well, he didn't have the dragon, but he was going to be marrying a dragon queen, and he was going to have a dragon in their arsenal. So, yeah, it was a good plan. Everything was working out until, Littlefinger. Anyway, so Asha, as she's, in the ground bleeding, she starts laughing hysterically. Like, she starts laughing her ass off. And Euron's like, what? What's so funny? And Yara is like, you're a fool. Like, you're an idiot. Like, you had no idea what you did. We expected you to do this. We expected you to betray us. And that's why you just walked into a trap. So that's when one of Euron Greyjoy's messengers comes in, and he has one of his scouts ships that was behind, covering the rear, sent them a Raven. He opens it up and he sees it, and it turns out that the Red Vine fleet is closing in on them from the south. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Red Vine fleet is basically the largest fleet in Westeros, and it's part of the Reach. You remember the Reach, the largest army in Westeros? Well, they also have the largest fleet in Westeros. A lot of them are merchant ships, but still, they can be modified. And so, actually, one of the fleets that kicked their ass before was, in part, was the Reach Lords kicking the ass of the Ironborn. Because, there's just more of them. So, anyway. So, the Red Vine fleet is on its way to Pike to completely destroy, the Ironborn, right? Destroy their fleet, or at least send them sailing off to the east, somewhere where they're not going to be able to return and help Daenerys, right? Completely blocking their path through Westeros, and also maybe taking their castles, taking up a whole bunch of stuff. As you guys may have noticed, the Ironborn don't like their stuff being taken. Anyway, so Euron Greyjoy starts telling everybody, all right, take every single prisoner, grab them, and start draining their blood. We're going to need it. And everybody's like, okay, what? So they start grabbing every single guy they could, put a bucket under them, and start slitting their throats, collecting the blood. As somebody grabs Yara and they're about to drain her, Euron is like, no, not her. Tie her to the mast. So they tie Asha Greyjoy to the mast of the ship, and they set sail south to meet the Red Vine fleet. So that's where the Greyjoy story is going to end. That's where the Kingsmoot ended. Euron Greyjoy basically just got there and kicked everybody's ass. However, he did find a trap. But what is he going to do about it? What is happening? What is going on here? Does he have an ace under his sleeve? Maybe, possibly, probably. Anyway, so, and Theon Greyjoy ran out of there, and he's being ghosted back into the interior. So that is it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Next episode, we will continue finally with the big expedition north, and maybe we'll wrap up this season. I don't know. Hopefully you enjoyed that. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me on Instagram at Dario the Show. And I'm gonna try to do the recap. I don't know. Well, should I do a recap instead of just focusing on other stuff? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how. That's actually a question that I have for you guys. How elaborate of a recap do you need? Because I know that I went kind of crazy, and it's some things that I just kind of was all over the place. Let me know how. Basically, tell me how well are you following the story so far? Does it make sense? That's it. That's pretty much it. That's the question. Has the story made sense so far? Are you with me? Or do I need to go back and clear some things up before moving on to next season? All right? Cool. So, as always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again tomorrow.